The wind chimes ring by themselves, even when there is no wind, is a mysterious phenomenon that not everyone can explain scientifically. However, for those who believe in the spiritual realm, this event holds a much deeper meaning, opening a door to the mystical and unexplainable aspects of life. They believe that the sound of the wind chimes is a signal from the other side, a connection between humans and spirits, or perhaps the presence of some supernatural energy that cannot yet be understood. Sometimes, wind chimes are not just simple decorations hanging by a window or outside the house. They become a symbol, a tool for conveying messages from other dimensions. The ancients believed that when the wind chimes rang, it was a sign of change, a big event about to happen, or even a warning from the universe. Some people recount that on a quiet night, when everything was still, the wind chimes hanging outside suddenly rang. Despite there being no breeze, they were startled, feeling as though someone was watching them from afar. Events like this make people question whether it could be the visit of a spirit, or perhaps it is simply some invisible energy trying to transmit a message that humans are yet to perceive. Contrary to scientific facts, where wind chimes only sound when the wind blows through, in the spiritual world, every sound can carry a different layer of meaning. The ringing of a wind chime can signify a soul that cannot transcend, or the presence of forces unseen by the naked eye. And sometimes, these sounds are a warning, an indication that something is amiss when the material world and the spiritual world intersect, blurring the lines between them. In particular, in many cultures, wind chimes are not only seen as decorative items but also as protective tools. It is believed that the sound of wind chimes drives away evil spirits and purifies the living space, creating an atmosphere of peace and tranquility. These wind chimes are often hung in important places, like doorways, near bedrooms, or near altars. The sound of the chimes is believed to dispel negative energy and keep the home filled with harmony. However, not every ringing of the wind chimes brings a good omen. According to some beliefs, when wind chimes ring without wind, it is a sign of upheaval in one's life, an unexpected change or event about to happen. Some believe that it signifies the crossing over between worlds, a sign of intervention from spirits, possibly a reminder of something unresolved. The mystery surrounding this phenomenon leaves many people pondering. Certainly not everyone can easily accept supernatural explanations. But for those who believe in the spiritual world, every sound, every strange occurrence is a sign not to be ignored. Thus, while science may provide logical explanations, there are times when, in this vast world, there are things that we cannot explain with reason, but can only feel with our hearts and intuition. Strange phenomena, like wind chimes ringing without wind, only add to the mystery of the world that humans have yet to fully understand. While science may explain it through theories about physical forces or air fluctuations, there is one undeniable truth. In those moments, a part of the human soul seems to open up, ready to embrace things that the eyes cannot see, but can only feel through intuition or instinct. In different cultures, wind chimes carry a rich and varied significance. They are not just decorative items, but are also seen as symbols of connection between humans and the unseen world. The sound of wind chimes is not simply a ringing in the quiet space, but at times, It is a call from another world, a sign of a presence, whether a spirit or some invisible energy passing by. Therefore, when a wind chime rings at an unexpected moment, it not only disturbs the space, but also stirs the minds of those who believe in the supernatural. Perhaps those sounds are messages we are not yet capable of deciphering, but deep inside, they evoke a sense that something mystical is present around us. What is miraculous is that even without wind, and without any clear cause to explain it, those wind chimes often bring peace, making the space feel fresher and the soul feel cleansed. This is what makes many people believe that every object in our living space serves a certain purpose, whether visible or invisible. The sound of wind chimes ringing in the dark night, when there is no breeze, sometimes becomes a sign of transformation in life, or a reminder of things we have yet to realize. It's like an invitation, inviting us to listen, reflect, and accept that this world is not only made up of what we can see and touch, but also of things that transcend the limits of our senses. For those who believe in the spiritual world, winds, chimes ringing by themselves, are a symbol of the intersection of two worlds, the physical world and the unseen world. They are part of the mystery we cannot explain with reason, but can only feel with the heart and soul. We may not fully understand, but sometimes it is this very lack of understanding that makes the miraculous aspects of life more interesting and meaningful than ever. The sound of the wind chimes ringing by themselves carries an invisible power, a mystical energy that not everyone can immediately perceive. For those who believe in the supernatural, these sounds are not just random, but a part of a deeper connection to the unseen world. When the wind chimes ring in the night, the atmosphere seems to shift, and a new energy fills the space, making one feel that they are not alone, that there is a presence watching over them. Not everyone is able to sense this mystical presence. Some people may hear the sound of the chimes without realizing that it is a sign of change or a reminder of something important. But for those who are sensitive and attuned to the world around them, a single ringing of the wind chimes can be all they need to realize that there are things unseen by the eye, and sometimes it is those invisible things that have the power to change their lives. The wind chimes ringing by themselves do not always bring good tidings. Sometimes they can be a sign of an ending, a chapter in life slowly closing. They may be a reminder that it is time to face changes, even though they may be difficult or unexpected. But for this reason, their sound becomes a symbol of transformation, of rebirth, awakening the hope that every ending opens the door to new opportunities, a fresh beginning. There are also those who believe that when the wind chimes ring in times of hardship, it is a message of encouragement from the unseen world, a protection from spirits who have passed on, or even the presence of positive energies, helping them overcome challenges. The sound of the wind chimes is not just an intersection of worlds, but a reminder of immortality, of the invisible flow of time and space that humans have yet to fully grasp. For spiritual believers, the sound of the wind chimes ringing in the quiet night is a meaningful event, a part of the invisible world they trust in. While science may explain this phenomenon with theories and formulas, those who believe in spirituality will always find that there are things that the mind cannot explain. And it is precisely these things that are the most miraculous in life. Although the modern world strives to explain every phenomenon through scientific theories, for those who believe in the supernatural, they still see that there are things that science cannot explain. The sound of wind chimes ringing by themselves is evidence of the existence of supernatural forces, an invisible yet powerful presence that not everyone can perceive or understand. When the wind chimes ring in the stillness of the night with no wind, no movement in the air, many people feel a strange sensation, as if there is an intervention from another world. It could be a sign of the presence of a spirit or some cosmic energy trying to convey a message. It might be a reminder that we are never truly alone, that there is always some invisible force protecting and guiding us through difficult times. In many cultures, the sound of wind chimes is not only seen as an intersection between two worlds, but also as a form of protection, a shield to drive away negative energy. People believe that when the wind chimes ring, it is a time when benevolent spirits, or even invisible forces, are cleansing the space, protecting the home from harmful influences from the outside. This also explains why wind chimes are often hung at doorways, windows, or other important places in the home. They don't just provide a pleasant sound, but also serve a role in balancing the energy, protecting the house from unforeseen troubles and disasters. They act as invisible guardians, quietly carrying out their duties in the background. It is in these moments, when strange sounds occur, that we begin to realize that this world is not just made up of things we can see and touch, but also an invisible universe full of mysteries that are always present around us. While science may explain everything with complex theories, sometimes it is the things that cannot be explained that bring the most wonder and depth to life, things that we cannot ignore. When we view the world from a broader perspective, we realize that phenomena like wind chimes ringing by themselves are hints of something we cannot yet grasp with reason. They are the unsolved pieces of the universe, the delicate connections between humans and the unseen world that we sometimes fail to notice. For this reason, these occurrences are not simply random sounds. They are reminders that there are things beyond our understanding, things that can only be felt with the heart and soul. In many cultures, wind chimes are not only seen as decorative items or tools to ward off evil spirits, but also as symbols of connection and harmony between humans and nature, between humans and the cosmos. Each time the wind chimes ring, it seems like a sign of the intersection between worlds, a way for the universe to send the message that we live in an environment where everything is interconnected, whether visible or invisible. The magic of wind chimes lies in their ability to bring peace in unexpected moments. Their gentle sounds can soothe a restless mind, helping people find inner calm. Even though we may not fully understand why the chimes ring, it is the tranquility that their sound brings that can change our emotions, helping us view things in a gentler and more comfortable way. Sometimes, these chimes are a reminder that we need to pause and listen, not just with our ears but with our hearts as well. In the hustle and bustle of life, we may have been so focused on chasing goals and ambitions that we forget that true peace comes from within, from the ability to listen to the small things around us, from feeling the invisible yet incredibly important things. Thus, whenever the wind chimes ring, try to stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel. Perhaps it is an opportunity for us to return to ourselves, to see life with a broader perspective, and to have a more peaceful heart. When we stop and listen, we realize that life is not just about what we see, but also about what we feel deep inside. Those moments of stillness, the gentle sounds of the wind chimes, can bring us a sense of serenity, as if all the worries and stresses of life melt away. These are moments when we can truly live in the present, not burdened by the past or anxious about the future. And it is in these moments that we feel more clearly the connection between ourselves and the universe. A soft ring of the wind chimes, whether accidental or intentional, can bring feelings of wonder that the mind cannot explain. These are the miracles, the small signs that the invisible world sends to invite us to open our hearts and souls to new things. Perhaps we cannot fully understand the supernatural phenomena around us, but it is precisely the acceptance and openness to them that brings us a richer experience of life. Not everything has to be explained by reason. Sometimes it is our trust in the mystical, in the unexplainable, that gives us strength and belief in something greater. When the wind chimes ring, it may be a reminder that we need to slow down, to feel the presence of the invisible things we cannot see but are very real. Perhaps, in those peaceful moments, we will find answers to the deep questions in our hearts, or simply find peace in a chaotic world.